Hey, good morning, and happy Tuesday. That's right. We have bypassed Monday and we're now full-fledged Tuesday. So thank you for joining me on this Tuesday morning. Hey, my name is Angela McGowan. I'm your professional healthcare advocate, caregiver strategist, author of this book, What You Don't Know Could Kill You, How to Get Out of the Hospital Alive. Yes. And I am the founder of Angie's Pace. That's patient advocates committed to excellence. So, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Thank you to my replay viewers. Thanks everyone for joining me. We are continuing on day 2 of such an important topic, and that is July is Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we are going to end the month out talking about this topic and hopefully giving you great information, some insight, and always preventative things that you can do to make sure that you and your family and those that you love stay in or get back to some great mental health. So I put about identity and labels because that is what makes things go around for us. Is it not what people see or think about us, what they call us, other than, of course, our given name? You know, it affects us, and it definitely affects children. So we're going to be talking about those things and the effects on children on tomorrow. I want to make sure I mention that in case I get going, and I don't, but I want to let you know that. So listen, different communities, what they would consider to be marginalized communities, must always keep working, all right, diligently to maintain their well-being. All right, it's like we get to the intersection, I call it mental health and the minority status. And that status often has you in a war or in a place of sometimes confrontation or even alienation because of your needs and what is actually available to you. Okay, due to biases, stereotypes, and things like that. And we know there's definitely disparities among all healthcare when it comes to minorities in the first place. And according to the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, HRO, the U.S. minority majority communities, okay, are less likely to have access to mental health services. So the communities, the majority of the communities, okay, if yeah, I hope I said that more clear, okay, likely to have great services. Services such as community mental health services, places where they could go and everyone knows that's the place to be helped. They're less likely to have full-fledged emergency departments. There may be some urgent care, but not emergency services. And they are more likely, whatever is available, they're more likely to receive a lower quality of care. So poor mental health care and the access to getting help for mental health, all right, this because of that, you have a huge increase in suicide, especially among racial and ethnic minority populations. So the prevalence of mental illness, I just want to give you a few facts every day. So here's one. Approximately 1 in 5 adults in the U.S., that would be like 46.6 million, experiences some type of mental illness in a given year. All right. 6.9% of adults in the U.S., that would be 16 million, had at least one major depressive episode in the past year. With regards to social stats, 26% of homeless adults staying in shelters live with serious mental illness. And the consequences of lack of treatment. Serious mental illness cost America $193.2 billion in lost earnings every year. It's a lot of money, right? So another thing, we're talking about mental health disparities. Minorities are less likely to receive diagnosis and treatment for their mental illness. Now, what is that? How can you get well without a clear diagnosis, without a great plan of care, and without accurate treatment? You can't. So let's talk about as it refers to African Americans and mental health. The poverty level affects mental health status. African Americans living below the poverty level as compared to those over the poverty level, twice the poverty level, are 3 times more likely to report psychological distress. Living below the poverty level, as those that live, and I didn't even know you could live twice below the poverty level, okay, they are 3 times more likely not to report psychological distress. Why? They think it's all in a day. American Indians, Alaska Natives, their mental health. Here's a stat for them. In 2014, suicide was the second leading cause of death for American Indians, Alaska Natives between the ages, listen to this, of 10 years old to 34. And you might be saying 2014. Imagine in 5 years, it's gone up. It has not decreased from 10 years old. Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, there's their mental health stats. Suicide was the 9th leading cause of death for Asian Americans and Pacific Americans, and the 10th leading cause for white Americans. Okay? For Asian Americans and Pacific Americans, the rate of serious psychological distress increases the lower levels of income, and it does in most of their ethnic populations. And here's the last group, which is the Hispanic / Latinos, their mental health stats. The death rate from suicide for Hispanic men was 4 times the rate for Hispanic women. That's an awful lot of people. And suicide attempts for Hispanic girls in grades 9 through 12, so that's like 15-year-olds starting, were 50% higher than for white girls in the same age group in 2015. So there's a lot going on in this world, in the minority communities, without getting any type of treatment, access, clear diagnosis about them having mental health issues. So I call this little part from stats to life facts. So I wanted to talk about, I call it my story about her. Because yesterday I talked about, when we went from stats to facts, that a lot of times people don't think it's anyone close to them. And it could be so close to you. So I want to talk to you about someone that's very important to me, and I talked to them yesterday and had invited them to some places. They didn't come, tried to make sure they were well, trying to see did they need a ride, letting them know I was going to be close to their area again. And they really couldn't say why they didn't come. They said maybe it wasn't a good day. But as I continue to talk to them, they've lost touch with some time elements, like a 10-year span. Different things have gone on in their lives, and they are not up on it. And I could see the more we talk that they began to feel sort of frustrated. And so that's not what I wanted to do, was add frustration. And I said, well, that's okay, and brought up another subject, which they, again, could not really grasp the time limit. And, I finally said, I've been asking you for, it was the relative's phone number, like, I'm sure they wouldn't mind. And why am I trying to get that relative? Because obviously, if they're not interacting with this person a lot, or maybe they think like that's just their habits. But when you can't get a reality check for something that's gone on for 10 years or 5 years or begin to talk about something that you haven't done in more than 20 years, as if like, if I just got back to that, if I just did that again, I know I'd feel better. I know I'd do better. And so finally I said, have you ever, gone to see a therapist or talk to somebody so you could sort of feel better? Yeah, I did that, a long time ago. And then I did do it recently, but I didn't go regularly. It was a hit and miss. So that's why I wanted to get in touch with a family member, because the treatment, and no matter what treatment, be it mental treatment or physical treatment, it's only going to work if you are consistent. No matter what we do, we have to be consistent. And so I was really very sad about that, because of a great person that they are, and so helpful, and just always just such a giver. To think that at this stage of their life, there's no giving, and really some neglect is going on. And so I'm hoping that in the coming days, and I will keep trying to get in touch with their relative, because they need help. And I know sometimes we're so busy, like not wanting to cross that line, not want to get anybody's business, but not crossing that line and not getting their business means that they will only get worse. If they're not going to get better, it's only going to get worse. So I encourage you, be a committee of one. If you know someone is going through a bad time, and give a call, send a card, send an email, interact with them, invite them out. You can't make anyone go. We understand that. But if you can make them feel uplifted, because when I got off the phone with her, she says, thank you for keep calling me, keep getting in touch with me. She knows she's not calling back, but she enjoys the interaction. And so if that's all I can bring to the table until I can get with somebody, I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm asking you, I know our schedules are like, but 5 minutes to say something nice to somebody, to let them know that you care, it makes all the difference in the world. And in our minority communities, we've got to act. We've got to get in there with each other, with our families, with our children, with the neighborhood, with our communities. We've got to make all of our efforts count in our own community, okay, as well as in this entire world. Thanks for joining me. It's always awesome to be with you. I'm Angela McGowan, your professional healthcare advocate, caregiver strategist. I help you navigate through healthcare's sea of red tape, and I create strategies that would allow you to give excellent healthcare as you care for yourself as well. Now listen, I'm going to add this because I want you to know where you can get some information from. Don't forget that it is Minority Mental Health Month, and that when you are posting, post the hashtag Depth of My Identity. It's a campaign for 2019. All right. If you want further information, you can go to www.hhs.gov. And for me, Angela McGowan, from Angie's Pace, you can go to my link tree, a pro patient advocate. It's been awesome being with you today. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And I'm leaving you with what? 2 things: blessings and joy. Why is that? Because they both belong to you. Have an awesome Tuesday. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Take care. Blessings, everybody. Bye.